Hello, welcome to the second vlog of the Magical Readathon. If you watched my last vlog, you know that it ended in a very dramatic way, but we're moving on from that. I'm feeling better. I was sick on the last one if you haven't watched it, but I'm feeling better, not 100% yet, but I've been reading. So I was reading The Tyranny of Faith for a long time, but I was struggling to get through it. It was hard. So I picked up Berserk, which was also on my TBR, and I flew through this book. I really enjoyed it, and in my sick state that I was on, when was it? 2 nights ago? I don't know. This was exactly what I needed, and I didn't know that that's what I needed. I thought like because I was sick I needed something cute and fun to read. No, I needed gore and grimdark. That's what I needed. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. What can I tell you about what this is? This is about a man called Guts that doesn't really have any principles, and he just kills non-discriminately, basically. He has some goals that he wants to, of people that he wants to kill, and we're following a little bit of that here, but also we have this annoying little, like, fairy-like elf that brings a tiny bit of humor to this, so it's like 90% really dark, and then we have 10% of the elf being humorous, which is appreciated as well, and I'm really excited to continue. So we should put this on the spreadsheet, on the form thing, for both Magical Readathon and Realmathon. So let's do that. I have my computer with me for this today, but I'll put here on the screen things that you can follow. Okay, let's go to Magical Readathon on Twitter to find the link. And Berserk was for something that matched my outfit, right? So what class was that? I have to check on my tracker. It was for Art of Illusion. So, Art of Illusion, completed that with Berserk. How many pages does this have? It has over 600 pages. 689 pages. For Realmathon, it's really hard to pick if I'm like using positive or negative prompts for this one, because it's not going to complete a lot either way, but let's see. Yeah, we'll go with negative, and then we have Dark Cover. It's probably the only one, really. Is it a debut? I doubt it. It's not a debut. So yeah, Dark Cover, and I think that's it. It is a hybrid genre, so I get points for that. And that's it. Not a lot of points for the Realmathon for this one, but it's fine because it was an amazing read. It was 5 stars. 4.5. I rounded up to 5 stars. But that's great. So what am I reading now? I picked up How High We Go in the Dark by Sequoia and Nagamatsu, and this book says here that it's a novel. It's not a novel. This is a collection of short stories, and it was even published as short stories at first, like in the beginning here, like in the information about the book here in the beginning. It says like where each of the short stories was published in the beginning, in when it was first published. And it is a collection. It's not a novel. I don't know why it says it's a novel. There are some characters that overlap between the stories, but it's a collection of short stories, which I don't like so much. So it's fine. I'm enjoying the stories themselves, but it's just I'm struggling to get through this. It's not long, and I should have made a bigger dent on it, and I'm still like halfway through. But it's fine, it's okay. It's about this post-apocalyptic world in which everyone is dying because of a virus. It was written after COVID, so obvious inspirations there, I guess. But it's interesting, and it's very, like, it goes very deep on some aspects, and it has a lot of commentary and conversations on a lot of things, and it is interesting. I just wished it was an actual novel, or at least more interconnected, because a lot of people compared it to Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel, which I really loved, and that book has different stories being told, but there is something that connects them all. Maybe it will be the case with this one. So far I don't see anything, and with that one we could see the thread a little bit throughout the story, and the stories were, and there were less stories here. I already read like 5, and I'm halfway through, so it's just too many people. If there is a connection, I'm probably missing some of it because I won't remember all the characters' names and everything. But that's where I am at right now. I could pick up something else to read, because I could just read this, like, each story separately, like one a day or something. That would also be interesting. But I could pick something else to read in the meantime, or try to go back to Tyranny of Faith. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I still haven't picked an audiobook to read, but I want to do something else besides sitting and reading physically today. Probably either crocheting or working on my planner. So I'm going to try to find an audiobook to go with that. But before that, I have to edit last week's vlog. So that's why I'm sitting here on the table to do filming this intro for next vlog while I edit this week's vlog. You know what I'm trying to say. And as you probably saw there on the intro, if not, I'm gonna put pictures here. My husband made this beautiful Easter arrangement on the table for me, and it was adorable, and I have a lot of chocolate to eat now, so I'm gonna get better from my sickness, from whatever. I don't know if I had a flu or something. I'm gonna get better really quickly with all the chocolate that I have to eat now. But it was really just adorable, and I loved it. And I mentioned that Easter is one of my favorite holidays, so he knows it. It's Easter and my birthday. They're the my favorite commemorative dates in the year. And he knows it, and he did all of that because he's amazing. And I'm very excited to eat all that chocolate throughout many months. Don't worry, I'm not going to eat all of that at once. I even thought that I could do, instead of M&ms TBR, I could do Lindor TBR for next month, because I have a lot of the Lind, I don't know how to say that in English, but the Lindor truffles that could work for the TBR. So maybe that's something that I will do. I don't know. That might be more complicated to set up the board again, but I have that option because I have a lot of chocolate to play with. But that's it for now for starting this weekly vlog. I have 3 books down, 2 in the previous vlog and 1 in this vlog, and we'll see how much I can read this weekend. Today is already Saturday, the end of the day almost. I have Sunday and Monday, because I have Monday off, to read as well, and I don't know what I'm going to pick up, what I'm going to decide, because if I'm picking up an audiobook to do something else besides physically reading, I'm not gonna pick any of the ones that I have here, so we'll see. But thank you for joining me in this new vlog. I DNF'd my first book for the Magical Readathon. I think I mentioned in the last clip. If not, I'm mentioning it here. I was reading How High We Go in the Dark by Sequoia Nagamatsu, and I can't. It says in the cover that it's a novel, but it's not. It's a collection of short stories, and I get it. They are connected. I'm trying to hold my phone. It's really hard. This works, I think. And I get it. Like I said, the stories are connected, but it's not a novel. It's a collection of short stories, and I don't usually. First of all, I don't usually like collection of short stories, and that. But most importantly, that's not what I thought it was about to read. So I was just getting very annoyed. The stories are interesting, they're good, it's well written, but every time I finished the story and had to start a new one, I was just not into it. So I DNF'd it. I don't know if it's gonna be forever, and like being short stories, I can just pick it up at any point. But for now, it's a DNF. But I'm not gonna count it to get points for the readathon, but I'm going to count it as completing the class because I have the guild reputation thing that I can count it. I think it's for the guild reputation that I have a thing that I can count DNFs. So that's it. So then I went back to the Tyranny of Faith, which I'm really enjoying it. I think I'm about 160 pages in, I want to say, maybe closer to 200, and I'm enjoying it a lot. And I'm also listening to audiobooks. I finished an audiobook last Saturday, I think. It's been a while since I came here, Was it Saturday? I think it was Monday. It was Monday of the holiday of Easter holiday. I started and finished on the same day, and that was The Night Swim by, I'll put a cover here. I don't remember. And I'm not going to log it yet. I'm going to log it after I film this clip. I'm not going to log it in the vlog because I think that was very boring when I did it last time. But I am going to log it for both the readathons. I don't know what I'm counting it for actually for the magical readathon. So I'll figure it out and I'll write here what class I counted it for. And for the Realmathon, it also I don't know what I'm counting it, which points I'm getting for it, but it's going to count for something for sure. But that book is about detective. It's actually a series, the first in a series. I didn't know it was the first in a series, but it's a detective. What is it about? I already forgot. Oh, it's not a detective. She used to be an investigator, but she's a. It's a really good book, but I read it in a day, so I already forgot a lot of things. But it's about a podcast person. She has a podcast about true crime, and she's investigating this rape case that happened in this small town. And a person from the small town contacts her to investigate a murder that happened to her, that her sister was murdered, and this girl contacts this podcast person to investigate it. And it was really interesting. I really enjoyed it. The audiobook was really good, so I would recommend it. It's not mind bending, the mind blowing thriller, but it's an enjoyable thriller. So I would definitely recommend it. And then I started to listen to The Cloisters by Katy something again. I'm putting the image here. I forgot her name. But I'm listening to it on Libra FM because I have the ALC audio no advanced listening copy for influencers on Libra FM. So I got The Cloisters there, and I haven't heard anyone talking about it, but I'm enjoying it a lot. I only have 50 minutes left, and it's been a surprisingly interesting and like fascinating and intriguing read. It's very slow pace. It's about this woman who moves to New York to work at the Met, but it's a part of the Met Museum, and it's a part of it that's called the Cloisters. It actually exists in real life. That is like a more medieval looking building, and it has all these medieval artifacts and stuff like that. And she's working with a guy that kind of feels like him and the other girl that works with him. There's kind of a not secret society because it's two people, but they're investigating some weird things relating to tarot cards. And I just thought that is all fascinating, and the audiobook is really good. And like I think the audiobook is the best part of it because if I was reading it physically, I'd probably be bored. But the narrator is awesome, and I just want to keep reading it. I wouldn't mind if it was many more hours long, but it's only 15. There's only 15 minutes left. But I haven't finished yet. When I do, I will log it as well, and I'll put here what I counted it for because I also don't know. I just picked it up because it sounded interesting. I actually started listening to, I listened to like 20 minutes of Last Tale of the Flower Bride that I've been hearing a lot about, but I didn't like the narrator. I think it's multiple narrators, but the first one is a man that I just did not like his vibe at all. So I put it down. I don't know if I will go back to this book, but I don't like not even just the voice of the narrator, but this type of book being narrated by the male main character. I just thought it was weird and I didn't like it. I didn't vibe with it, so I just didn't continue. Now I'm listening to the Cloisters and it's really good. And this weekend, today's Saturday, already afternoon. What time is it? I don't even know. It's 20 minutes to 1. I want to focus on some shorter books. This weekend for Realmathon, it's Peace Talk, so all the books I finished this weekend counts for, I can get more points for it or something. So I'm gonna try to read maybe 2 books. We'll see. And this is what I have right now. I can't move a lot because my cat is on my lap here. We're opening all the windows because it's really sunny and warm outside, but I think she doesn't like the noise. So she's on my lap under a blanket, and it's really adorable, and I don't want to bother her. But these are the 3 books that I want to focus on this weekend. Uh, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Arch-Conspirator, and Alcatraz, and I'm very excited for it. I think I'm going to start with Hitchhikers just because I'm very excited, and it's a reread, and I know it's a lot of fun, and I'm going to have a lot of fun with it. We're probably going to go
out, just go to a park. My husband wants to ride his bike to a very far place that I don't want to go, but I will probably join him just to a park that's close to us and just sit and read, which I really love to do. And it's finally warm outside to do that, so I'm very looking forward to sitting outside and reading.
I finished 3 books since we last spoke. So, first of all, I'm really bad at filming clips, so it's been a long time since the previous clip that you saw, but I did finish 2 of the books that I mentioned in that clip, and they were Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and Arch-Conspirator, and I also finished, I think I mentioned that I was listening to it, but I also finished, what's the name? The Cloisters by Katy something. I'll put an image here. And I already logged all 3 for both the Magical Readathon and Realmathon. This one was for Top Shelf, and this one was for Matches My Clothes, I think. I could be wrong, but I think that's it. And for Realmathon, I had picked this on my TBR for Dysfunctional Family, and this, I don't remember what I did for Realmathon, but it's there. I counted all the points as well. But I did really enjoy my reread. It has more of like other races and other space things going on than I remembered. I thought it was much more focused on Arthur. Is that his name? Arthur, yes, Arthur Dent's life. And I like that part better. Like those parts that his in the story are the ones that I remember the most, and those are the ones that stayed in my mind with a 5-star vibe. But rereading it, I gave 4.5 just because all of the other parts felt not as interesting as Arthur's part. But I will at some point continue the series. It's not a huge priority. I really just wanted to reread this because it's still one of my favorite books of all time. And I did, and I'm really happy about it. But it's not a huge priority to continue the series, but I have the whole series, so I will continue. I bought this really cute set with the 5 books, the 5 main books. I think there's more written by someone else, but I'm not going there. And it just looks really cute. And if you've noticed, my bookshelves look different. I did reorganize them in the past few days, and I separated a lot of books to unhaul, more than 80 books, I think. But I'm gonna talk more about that in my next vlog, because this one is probably already a little bit too long. So subscribe if you want to see the last vlog for Magical Readathon and Realmathon, because after this one I'm just going to continue until the end of the month, because it's already almost the end of the month. But I did read Arch-Conspirator by Veronica Roth. This was okay. I gave it 3.5. It was not a bad book. It was too short. When I bought it, I didn't know it was a novella, and I don't typically love novellas just because it doesn't have enough time to explore everything, and it was interesting and I like her writing, but it's just not enough time for me to get connected to these characters and get really invested in the story. So that's it. It was okay. But I completed it, so yay. And I did finish the Cloisters. It was 4 stars. It was a surprise. Was it 4 stars? 3.5? I think it was 4. It was a surprising read, really. I did not expect. It was just completely random. The reason I picked it, which is why I put it on the Magical Readathon, I believe, for the random prompt. I just really opened Libro.fm and looked at the audiobooks that I had available for me and just picked one. I really had no reason, and I did not expect to enjoy it as much as I did. I just really liked the narration. I think that was the best part of the whole book, and I would definitely recommend it. It has a dark academia vibe, but she's at a museum, not at school, but it has that vibe. But it's very slow paced and it's just really good audiobook, so I would definitely recommend the audiobook. So what's left for the Magical Readathon? After I read all those books, I sat down with my spreadsheet thing to figure out what I needed for the Magical Readathon, and I found out that I was being very stupid with the books that I had picked for each thing. And I actually don't have a lot of books left that I need to read for the Magical Readathon to complete like 4 careers or 3 careers or something like that. So I'm still going to try to aim for that. And for that I have to read Alcatraz versus the Librarians, A Prelude to Ashes, and The Tyranny of Faith, which I'm still reading. I'm about here, a little bit more because... Oh, focus. Come on. There we go. A little bit more, but not much more than this, but I am still enjoying it a lot. and I will finish it this month for sure. And Alcatraz, I'm going to start it this week because I'm buddy reading it with Kelsey. And for A Prelude to Ashes, probably like next weekend. It's very short, so maybe Saturday morning I'll just wake up and read it if I wake up early or something like that. But I do have plans on Saturday, so I hope to film a little bit so you can see my plans, but I'm not going to spoil it. It's going to be very fun. So do look out for the next vlog. And I believe that's it. Let me double check. Okay, so I'm almost right. I only missed one book. I still have to read A Prayer for the Crown Child, which is here behind the ones that I just put here. So I'm not going to pick it up. But I have A Prayer for the Crown Child, Alcatraz, and A Prelude to Ashes, and finish this. Is that it? Yeah, when I finish this, I'm going to complete Illusionist Rogue Career. When I finished A Prayer for the Crown Child, I'm going to complete Mage Hunter. And for Story Weaver is the one that I need, Alcatraz and A Prelude to Ashes. So it's a lot of books. But I think I can do it. How many days do I have left? Today is the 24th. I have literally a week. And I'm also listening to Miracle Creek, the audiobook, because it was available in my library. I had a lot of these books available on Scribd, but Scribd limited my account and I can't listen to any books anymore. I can. There's some that are still available to me, but not any of the ones that I planned for the readathon. So that messed up my plans a little bit. But I am listening to Miracle Creek, so maybe I can fit that for one of the prompts that I still have. Does it have flowers on the cover? Let me pick it up. I have the book. Okay, so it does not have flowers on the cover. Does it have a map? I highly doubt it. Oh, it has a list of characters. That's very useful. The audiobook obviously doesn't have a list of characters, and that I would need that. And does it have clouds? It doesn't even have clouds. Okay, so I cannot fit this for anything that I have left. So this is just extra. The audiobook's just extra. It's fine. I'm not too worried about it, but I need to read 3 books and finish Tyranny of Faith. I don't know, I have faith in myself to do that. We'll see what happens. At least Tyranny of Faith I will finish because it is for Illusionist Rogue, and the other 3, we'll see. Subscribe if you want to see how this vlog is going to end, if you want to hear a little bit more about my bookshelves, about the books that I'm unhauling, if you want to see something really cool that I'm going to do this weekend, and if you want to see how many careers I'm actually going to complete for the Magical Readathon. I'm curious to see how many of these books I'm going to be able to read. If you watched until now, thank you so much. I really do hope you enjoyed it. Remember to like and subscribe, and thank you so much for joining me. Bye.